welcome back to the channel and to, I think we're part number 6. I think it could be part number 6 of my big fat health journey, big fat weight loss journey, whichever way you want to call it. It is basically designed to help me lose weight, get my blood pressure under control, all those things. Now, it has been a little while since I've sat here in front of you. As you guys know, I took a week off to go to Italy, and I should have had a video ready for you guys last week. Unfortunately, when we first got home, obviously we had all the things to unpack and everything else was going on, and I had a slight cold. And because I had a slight cold, the GP basically quarantined us for a week. I am actually waiting for a call back right now from the GP to check whether I can leave the house this week. So, hopefully the kids can go back to school. Hopefully I can get back to my normal routine, all those things. Now, we are all fine. There are no symptoms. We don't have shortness of breath. We don't have fevers. We don't have coughs. We don't sneeze. None of those things. The problem I always have is when I've slept in a hotel room that has air conditioning, then I am prone to get sniffles, colds, sore throats. Always have been. So we stayed in the hotel. We flew back on the Saturday and we stayed in the hotel the Saturday night, and the Sunday we hit Dublin Zoo. If those of you that got me on Instagram have probably seen some of the photos I've been putting up from there. We did a lot of walking around the zoo. We covered just over 10 miles that day. Lots of walking. We took lunch with us rather than buying lunch there, so we didn't have to have burgers and chips and all those sort of things. We had sandwiches, which is a little bit healthier, and also saved a lot of time. Let's be honest, it gave me more time to spend with the wolfies, because the wolfies, you know Mama's all about the wolfies. I mean, I like my tigers and I like my big cats, but my wolfies are my babies. So yeah, when we were in the car then on the way home, I started to feel the sniffles starting, which is perfectly bang on schedule for me and no problem. We came home. The kids were actually back at school Monday and Tuesday, because we had no symptoms. We were all fine. And then I had an appointment with the psych nurse on Wednesday with my eldest daughter, and she said, look, you've got a cold, been to Italy, it's better to get some advice and just be sure. And my GP was actually on holiday, so we had a locum, and the locum was like, no, you need to stay in the house. You need to stay in and then call back Monday, which is when my GP will be back. So we're basically, all 4 of us, been quarantined in this house for the last week, and I haven't had the chance to record anything. I haven't had the chance to stream anything because there's been so much noise and chaos and everything else going on around. You know, I usually stream during the day when the kids are at school, or in the evening when they've gone to bed. By the time they've been in bed in the evenings, all I've wanted to do is just chill out, play a game, and not have to deal with it. So I haven't streamed this week, I haven't recorded this week, but we are all fine. Now, because I've touched on this, I want to make sure that you guys are aware of what's going on around the world. I mean, we've all heard of the coronavirus. I call it coronavirus because to me, like, corona is a pop. Like, when I was a kid, we used to have a guy drive door to door and he would sell pop, we used to call it, soft drinks in glass bottles about this big. And it was called Corona. So to me, when somebody says, oh, I've got the coronavirus, I'm like, oh, is it dandelion and burdock, or, you know, American soda? So yeah, just me being silly. So with this virus, there is a lot of panic going around the world right now, and I am going to say to you guys just one thing: make sure that you are getting your advice from the World Health Organization, from your local, for us it would be the HSE, because that is our government countrywide health service. In the UK it would be the NHS. In the States, obviously, you've got loads of different hospitals. You've got the Mayo Clinic, you've got all those other things. Make sure your information is coming from a reliable source, because the media are blowing this thing up like it's the next deathly plague. Like, we're all gonna die, it's the medieval period and we've all got the Black Death. And it isn't that. Now, if you have a compromised immune system, or if you are elderly, or you're extremely young, you're at higher risk, obviously, as with the flu, as with the swine flu, as with SARS, as with all those things, right? But for 99% of us, we recover in 48 hours with no need for hospital treatment. It isn't something to be fearful of. We need to be alert. We need to be alert of what's going on around us, what countries are doing, how each country is responding to it. Is it in our country? Is it close by? We need to be alert to those things, but we don't need to be anxious about it. So please, please, please make sure you're getting your advice from a reliable source, and make sure that you're using some common sense. Wash your hands thoroughly. Like, when I wash my hands like I'm scrubbing for surgery. My kids wash their hands like they're scrubbing for surgery. Make sure when you're washing your hands, you get in between your fingers. Make sure you don't miss your thumbs. Make sure you go up your wrist. There's places online that you can see how to wash your hands correctly. When you're sneezing, either sneeze into the corner here or into a tissue and wash your hands immediately afterwards. That's going to stop the spread of it. And for those of us that are washing our hands, if we've contracted it on our hands, we're washing our hands before, we eat. We're washing our hands before we touch our face. That's the basics. That's basics. Soap and water and vigilance. That's it. So please, guys, don't be panicking. And we are all fine. There is nothing to worry about. None of us have the coronavirus. None of us have any symptoms of the coronavirus. It's just a precaution. But I have been stuck in the house for a week. And as much as I am not the most social person in the world, and I'm quite happy in my own company 90% of the time, being stuck in the house with 3 other people it's a lot. It's a lot because it's been 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's been no break from it. So the eldest is quite happy in her room using the computer. The little one, if I give her a tablet, will disappear to her room for a couple of hours and give me that little bit of a break. But I swear to you guys, every time my butt has hit this computer chair to chill out and play some Conan with Trix or with TARDIS or with whoever's around with me at the time, right? Well, every time my butt has hit the couch downstairs to start watching some TV, somebody wants me within 5 minutes. And it's not just one person, it's person after person after person after person every 5 minutes. And it's just like, just give me some space. So, looking forward to going out. Now, that's out of the way. You've had a complete catch up on where we're up to when we were in Italy. Everything was wonderful. We were eating cannolis, we were eating lobster tails, we were eating pizza. The pizza's this big, and it's like €5. Like, seriously. We're doing all those things. I got myself confession time. I don't buy designer handbags. I don't see the point in spending over £1,000 on something that I'm just going to use to carry my purse. And a fair play to anybody that wants to do that. If that's what you want to spend your money on, that's what you want to spend your money on, and I'm not going to judge you for that. But for me, personally, I would rather spend that money on video games. So, I went to the market in Milan, and I bought myself a knock-off designer handbag. So, I have a Louis Vuitton knockoff handbag, and I'm quite happy with that. And don't judge me for buying knockoffs. I'm sorry, but I would rather spend my money on the next Sims pack. I would rather spend my money on an expansion pack for Conan. I would rather spend my money on a new computer game. I'll spend my thousands on computer games, and you guys can spend your thousands on shoes and handbags. That's fine by me. Okay, so I was going out walking while I was there. I was on it. I was not taking a break just because I was on holiday. This week I've been slightly lazier than the week before, but only because the kids have been at home and stuff, and I have still been exercising. So since the last video, I have actually walked 73.2 miles. 73.2 miles, that's a long way. I'm going to put up the little thing here. Yeah, and you can see I'm actually right in the middle of the ocean, walking across from Dublin to, I think it's France that I'm headed to. And I have only lost ½ a pound. But I'm not bothered, because after the amount of stuff I ate, I'm not kidding. When we were in Italy, there were lobster tails and cannolis and other pastries that I absolutely adore. And then every morning, they don't cook breakfast. They just put this pan of cookies out, and you eat cookies for breakfast, which is... But we're on holiday, so whatever. We were having pizzas and all that sort of stuff. And then when we came home on the Saturday night, when we arrived home, we went to McDonald's, and we had a McDonald's. Now, I chose the fish rather than the burger because it's slightly healthier, but not by much, right? So we had that, and then obviously sandwiches and crisps at the zoo the next day. And there was a day we had a takeaway after we got home. I can't remember which day it was, but after we got home, we had to take away one of those days. So given that I've eaten all that, ½ a pound off is fantastic for me, and the fact that I actually feel a lot healthier. I think my blood pressure medication is actually starting to work, because I have had 0 headaches in the last week and a half, two weeks almost. 0, and I was having headaches every single day. Every single day I was taking painkillers or something for a headache. So I'm thinking it's starting to work. The exercise is starting to work, that the meds are starting to work. Something's working, so that's a positive sign. I'm getting more sleep. I've actually started to drink more water and stuff. My skin is looking extremely clear and extremely fabulous, and I'm very, very pleased with how clear my skin is right now. So yeah, I mean, all very, very, very positive. Not much of a weight loss, but a lot of distance walked. Everybody's healthy, everybody's fine, and I'm going to see you guys next week. Ciao, guys.